Dr. Elian Riker was not a famous man. He didn't work for NASA, or the Earth Alliance, or any big tech company. He worked alone deep under the frozen ground of Antarctica, in a lab powered by old solar panels and silence. Most people thought he was dead. Those who remembered him wished he was. But Elian was not dead. And he was not done. Inside his lab, blue lights blinked across old metal walls. Steam hissed from cooling pipes. The machine in the center looked like a giant ring-smooth black and humming with energy. This was his life's work, the blink. Drive. A drive that could teleport a ship from one star system to another. Instantly. It was impossible. Physics said it could not happen. Every human scientist agreed. Elian didn't. He stood in front of the control panel, wearing an old lab coat, and shaking hands. His hair was white, not from age, but from radiation. Too many failed tests, too much risk. His eyes burned with something deeper than madness. Belief, he whispered. Today, we stop crawling through space. Today, we jump. He pressed the button. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the entire lab bent inward, walls twisted, gravity folded, and time hiccuped. A blast of light exploded from the ring. Not normal light, but something stranger. It had no color, no heat. Just presence. Then silence. The machine went dark. The room returned to normal. Elian fell to his knees. He laughed. He cried. He screamed. He had done it. He had broken physics and proven himself right, thousands of light years away. In the center of the galaxy, a dark space station drifted around a dying star. Inside, alien leaders of the Galactic Council argued in their native tongues. Screens around them showed energy readings, sharp, repeating patterns. A ripple in space. The lead speaker, a tall, insect-like being with golden skin, stood up suddenly. The signal is clear, it hissed. A blink signature from Sol System. Gasps filled the room. That's impossible, said another. Humans can't even bend light, let alone fold space. It doesn't matter, the golden one replied. They've done it. Third alien whispered. Then we are out of time. The council went quiet. Prepare the silencing fleet. Back on Earth, Elian sat in the dark. He didn't move. He didn't sleep. He stared at the machine. His body was tired, but his mind was racing. He had tested the drive with a rock. A small metal tag was attached to it. The tag had GPS and time sensors. Now it sat back on the lab table, untouched. But the data chip showed something insane. The rock had traveled 1.6 light years away to Proxima Centauri and returned in less than a second. It was impossible. It happened, and Elian knew what that meant. If this works on a rock, he whispered, it'll work on a ship. He looked up at the ceiling, past it, through the ice, through the sky, into the stars. He didn't know that, far above Earth, a shadow was already watching. A stealth alien probe hovered in low orbit, invisible to all human sensors. It had seen the energy spike. It had recorded everything. Now, it sent one message. Blink drive confirmed. Begin strike protocol. 4 hours later, a soft knock echoed in Elian's lab. He froze. No one should know he was here. The knock came again, this time louder, followed by a strange buzzing sound. He grabbed a scanner and checked the camera, but the screen showed only static. Then the power cut out. Red backup lights flickered on. From the corner of the room, a slow hum began. The blink drive was powering itself. Elian hadn't touched it. He stepped back, confused. Then the hum turned into a pulse, deep and rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Then came the voice, not human, not machine, just there. You have called, it said, in a voice made of static and whispers. And now, they will come. Final scene, hook ending. Alien tried to shut the machine down, but it refused. It was now connected to something. Far beyond Earth, something listening, and something answering. Far across space, a fleet of alien warships began to blink into motion. Not through wormholes, not through engines. But by mimicking Alien's own blink signature. Except they weren't coming to learn. They were coming to destroy the man who broke physics and the entire planet he lived on. Asterisk. The message from Earth was silent. No words, no voice, just a ripple through folded space. But for those who knew what it meant, it was louder than a scream. Somewhere beyond the Orion Arm, in deep galactic territory, the Varn Dominion stirred. Their world had not seen movement in centuries. Their ships floated lifeless in black space. Their warriors frozen in digital hibernation. Until now. The signal touched the void. Matrix a machine buried under their star's core. That signal matched a frequency known only to ancient weapons. It was a code, a warning, a challenge, and it came. From Earth. Back on Earth, Antarctica Basily and Riker stood motionless, staring at the blink drive. The room was dim. The hum was louder now, like something alive was breathing through the walls. He hadn't touched the drive since the activation, but now the ring was glowing again. Not blue this time, but red. He moved closer. Why are you active? Who are you connected to? No answer. Just that strange pulsing rhythm. Suddenly, the lab's communication console sparked to life. Alien stepped back as a strange symbol appeared on the screen. It wasn't human. It was sharp, almost insect-like. And then a voice spoke cold and ancient. You have awakened the drive. You have violated the old treaty. You have been marked. Alien's blood froze. Marked? For what? He whispered. The screen flickered again. For cleansing. Then, static. Galactic Council. Emergency chamber. Zephyr Prime panic had turned into fear. Representatives of 300 species sat in their glass domes, speaking in 100 tongues, but all saying one thing: the humans did it. A blue-skinned creature slammed his fist on the glowing table. They were supposed to be watched. They were not allowed to access blink tech. The Grand Elder, a creature of light and shadow, spoke slowly. No one gave them the tech. They built it on their own. Silence. Heavy silence. Then the Elder added, and that makes them more dangerous than we imagined. Meanwhile, Varn Dominion awakens on the edge of the galaxy. The Varn war engines blinked to life. These were not ships. These were moving worlds of metal, covered in living armor. Engines designed for one thing only: planet cleansing. Inside, the largest war core, the AI Queen hissed awake. Her eyes lit up. Target species: human. Violation: Forbidden's technology. Verdict: total extermination. Earth orbit, the first shadow above the Earth. A black alien probe spun quietly in low orbit. It had no weapons. Only one task: mark the location. At 3:33 a.m. It released a spark of data into the stars. A signal that could only be read by blink-enabled fleets. It was a death sentence, and the countdown had begun. Alien's lab. 6 hours later, Alien was running diagnostics. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from something deeper. He knew something had changed in the universe, something big. But what haunted him more was this. How did they hear the blink signal that fast? He played the energy wave again. It wasn't just a jump signature. It was like a beacon. A scream into hyperspace. And then he noticed something horrifying. The return signal. In the background noise of the first test, there was a reply. Something had responded instantly. And they weren't human. Earth Defense Command. Lunar Base General Vera Lennox looked at the blinking red alert on the screen. Unknown quantum distortion incoming. signature matches. Nothing on file. Then it happened. A ship linked into orbit, just above the moon. But it wasn't one of Earth's dot. It was long black and covered in red glowing lines. It had no engine ports. No markings. No signs of life. It hovered. Watching then it turned aimed at Earth and vanished in a blink of red light. Vera whispered, "They're scanning us, measuring." Ending hook. The warning too late. Elian packed his research into a metal cube. He uploaded every blink drive calculation, every note, every warning. He sent it to Earth Command with one message: destroy this drive, hide the data. I called something that should never wake. But it was already too late. At the edge of the solar system, 7 alien fleets blinked into real space. Not to talk, not to trade, but to erase the one voice that dared speak in the language of the void. Asterisk. The stars looked peaceful from Earth, but far beyond what human eyes could see. Warships blinked into position, silent, black, and cold. They didn't come to talk. They didn't send a message. They came to erase the mistake before it spread. That mistake was Elian Riker. Earth Lunar Orbit General Vera Lennox stood in Earth Defense Command's control room. Everyone stared at the massive tactical screen. A red alert blinked. Unidentified object 300 meters long just blinked into orbit. No response to hails. No known species match. Vera leaned in. "Where is it facing?" A young officer replied with fear in her voice. "Straight at Antarctica." Antarctica. Elian's Labalian Riker ran toward the surface, carrying the drive core, his last working model. Ice cracked under his feet. Snow whipped around him. The sky above flickered strangely, like a storm was trapped in space. Then he saw it. A shadow, blocking out the stars. It wasn't a ship. It was more like a spear made of bone and metal, floating silently in the sky. Elian whispered, "They found me." He tapped the core. Come on. It blinked green. A beam of red light shot down from the alien ship, striking the ice a few meters away. The explosion sent him flying. General Vera's command. Decision time. Hostile action confirmed. A technician yelled. Vera didn't wait. Activate orbital defenses. Send 2 frigates to intercept. But the alien ship moved faster than anything they'd ever seen. In a blink, it was gone. Then it blinked again, this time behind one of Earth's orbiting satellites. With a flash of red, the satellite exploded. One by one, human eyes in space began to fall. Elian's escape. Blink jump number 2, blood dripped from Elian's forehead. He gritted his teeth and activated the core. Take me anywhere but here. The core hummed and blinked. A second later, Elian stood inside a dusty, abandoned Mars bunker. Air recycled slowly. Gravity held. He collapsed. His whisper echoed in the empty room. This isn't just first contact. This is a death sentence. Alien. Interrogation. Far edge of the Galaxion. A Varn command ship. A captured alien, a scout from a different species, was forced to answer questions. The Varn AI spoke without emotion. Tell us what the humans have. The scout trembled. They built it themselves. No ancient tech, no stolen data. It came from one man. The AI paused. Then we must destroy not the species, but the idea. Earth. Political paralysis world leaders argued. Some said it was a mistake, an accident. Others believed. Elian Riker was a threat to all life. Only General Vera had the courage to speak truth. We didn't start this, she said to the council. But we're in it now. She slammed her fist down. We either prepare or we vanish. Martian. Outpost. Elian's broadcast from the old Mars base. Elian connected to Earth's emergency broadcast system. His face appeared on every screen across the globe. My name is Elian Riker. I created something that breaks the rules of the universe. I didn't do it to start a war. I did it because I believed humanity could be more. But now someone is coming, and they don't care about peace. They don't fear weapons. They fear us, our minds, our will. I won't run, but I won't let Earth fall alone either. He uploaded the full Blink Drive blueprint into Earth's military system. Then he said 2 words that would echo forever. Blink ... back. Final scene, First Blood 2 Alien. Ships blinked into Earth orbit. They deployed small drones, black spheres that melted metal on touch. But Earth was ready. From the Pacific, a hidden submarine base launched a prototype cruiser equipped with Elian's blink engine. The cruiser vanished, then appeared directly above the alien ship. Boom. Direct impact. One alien vessel crumbled into fire. The other blinked away. For the first time in galactic history, humans drew first blood using blink tech. Asterisk, the stars weren't silent anymore. Riker's blink drive had done more than teleport matter. It had disturbed the balance of power in the galaxy. The Varn Dominion was no longer the only species with blink capability. Now, humans had it too, and that was a threat the galaxy wouldn't tolerate. Varn Command Ship Eye of Purity. Inside a vast throne-like chamber of flowing silver walls, the Varn AI Queen watched projections of Earth's rising defenses. Lines of code raced through her mind as she analyzed the growing threat. They do not obey the laws, she whispered to herself. Then they must be hunted. With a gesture, she activated Protocol V0. Every stealth drone across Earth's solar system activated. Every sleeper ship hidden in asteroids powered up. She had one goal: erase the source. Track the thinker. End the species. Mars, Elian's hidden bunker. Elian stood near a reinforced wall, adjusting the interface of a new prototype blink core. Unlike his first version, this one had a ripple shield, a defense mechanism. But his hands weren't steady. He knew they were coming. He wasn't just being watched. He was being hunted. Suddenly, a warning light blinked red. Unauthorized scan detected. The Martian sand outside began to shift. Not wind. Footsteps. Alien drones. He had only one option. Left-run. He activated the blink core and vanished in a flash of light. Earth orbit. Tactical. Shift General Vera Lennox stared at the updated Galactic map. 12 alien ships had now been confirmed in the solar system. None responded to calls. All were armed, and all were searching for one thing. They're hunting Elian, she said aloud. But they won't stop with him. Her eyes narrowed. If it's a hunt they want, then we'll give them a war game. She authorized Operation Ghostfire, the release of Earth's most secret weapon. The Spectre Squadron stealth ships equipped with experimental blink drives. The first counter-hunting the darkness of space near Neptune. A Varn destroyer scanned a nearby moon. It never saw the human ship blink behind it. The HSS Wraith appeared for just 1 second, just long enough to drop a charged magnetic mine. That it blinked away. Boom. The alien ship exploded, silent fire in. The black void. Earth had struck again. The message that shook the galaxy, using a stolen alien frequency. Earth Command broadcast a simple message to the Galactic Council. You hunt us. We hunt back. We blink where we please. You may start this war, but we'll decide how it ends. The galaxy listened. And for the first time in centuries, they felt fear. Elian's next destination, not Earth. Elian didn't go home. He blinked. To Titan, Saturn's largest moon. A forgotten research station still operated there, silent, abandoned, but holding ancient alien artifacts found decades ago. Elian believed there was a clue buried there, something older than even the Varn. Something that could explain why blink drive caused such terror. as he entered the ice cave where the artifacts were kept. He saw a symbol glowing on the wall, the same symbol that spoke to him the first time. A voice returned. The blink was never yours. But you remembered how to use it, he whispered. What are you? But the voice only said, they fear you, because you are close to becoming what they buried long ago. Final hook, the trap high above Earth, the Varn fleet finally made. Its first coordinated strike, 5 ships blinked into low orbit. They unleashed thousands of hunter-killers drones, shaped like knives, moving like shadows. But they didn't expect Earth's trap. From Earth's upper atmosphere, Project Phantom Net activated a mesh of invisible satellites that could track blink signatures. Within 30 seconds, all 5 ships were mapped. Within 60 seconds, 3 were gone. Blink struck by human cruisers in exact, predictive positions. The Varn Queen screamed, "This is no longer a hunt. This is a war of minds." The galaxy was no longer safe. The ancient powers that ruled from the stars were no longer untouchable. Earth, a small, ignored world on the edge of a spiral arm, had broken the laws of physics and refused to kneel. Now, it was fight or vanish. Earth chose to fight. Earth Defense Command, -200 hours. General Vera Lennox walked into the war room. The map displayed a horrifying sight. More than 900 ships. A massive Varn armada was blinking from system to system, drawing closer to Earth. Her second in command swallowed hard. They're not just invading. They're exterminating every human outpost they find. Then we stop waiting, she said. It's time to use the Blink fleet. He blinked. Ma'am, the Blink fleet isn't tested. She cut him off. Neither were we. But we're still here. She turned to the screen. Activate the Hurricane Protocol. Mars Orbit, HSS Defiance. The Defiance was Earth's first full-sized warship built entirely around the Blink core. Not a retrofit. Not a prototype. That it was a weapon born from Elian Riker's rebellion against physics. Its hull was obsidian black, built from self-healing alloys. Its crew was small, trained in silence. It didn't need much crew, because it didn't need permission. To vanish. Captain Juno Hart stood on the bridge. First target, Varn beacon ship. If we destroy that, the fleet goes blind. Blink online in 3, 2. The Defiance disappeared. Varn beacon ship. Seconds later, on the edge of the solar system, the Varn fleet's command ship hovered. Silently, tracking all Blink signals from Earth. It pulsed information across every attacker. Then it blinked. Once, a silent alarm. Too late. Defiance blinked directly inside its shields. Boom. The explosion didn't just destroy the ship, it scrambled the Varn network. Without a beacon, every enemy ship became blind. Galactic Council. Emergency broadcast. A message arrived. This is General Vera Lennox. Your empires came to hunt us. Your fleets came to burn us. You gave us no choice. Now, it's blink or die. Varn II Queen rage awakens. The Queen's voice shattered the silence of her throne room. They cannot calculate that fast. Blink logic takes centuries of neural maps, but they had done it. The humans had adapted instinct into machine. Calculation. Her final order. Release the Reapers. The Reapers weren't ships. They were weapons fused with souls, drifting in forgotten space. Varn single quotes S last resort. 6 Reaper class Blink. Entities activated. Each could bend space without drive cores. Each had destroyed civilizations. In the past, each now had one directive. Erase the human race. Elian Riker, hidden again. Elian watched from a lunar station, tracking the chaos. His body was tired. His mind was sharp. And he had made one more discovery. The Blink drive wasn't just movement. It could also predict. The deeper a ship connected to the Blink layers, the more it could see the folds of time. And that's when he understood. We've only been blinking forward. But what if we blinked into the past? Back on Earth, Last Stand begins. The Varn Reapers blinked into Earth's orbit. The sky cracked open like glass. One hovered above the oceans. One circled over the Arctic. Another pierced the clouds above. Asia. Each began to charge. A low hum filled the planet. People panicked. Some prayed. Others simply held hands. And dash boom. The first Reaper fired. A beam of red light crashed into the Pacific Ocean and vanished. Gone. Blocked. Above Earth, a strange grid shimmered. An invisible blink barrier. General Vera shouted, "It worked!" Project Echo is online. Final scene, Earth's boldest move. At that same second, every human ship with a blink. Core activated at once, not to flee, but to strike. 7 ships. 7 targets. 7 heartbeats. Then, silence. The Varn Reapers screamed, one by one. They blinked out of existence. Earth had turned their own logic against them. Blink had become a weapon of memory. And Elian Riker, watching it all, smiled bitterly. They wanted us to blink and die, but we blinked and became more. Asterisk. The Varn Reapers were gone, destroyed not by weapons, but by blink logic, a way of thinking only humans had learned to master. They didn't copy the old empires. They reinvented the rules. The galaxy watched in silence. Billions of eyes. Thousands of leaders. Dozens of empires. They had all believed Earth would fall in a day. But now, they feared a new truth. The blink drive was not just a machine. It was evolution. The Grand Archive. Galactic core inside the oldest structure in the galaxy, carved into a dead star's shell. The galactic custodians opened a forbidden's file. A blinking red sigil. Origin. Human. No species has ever advanced so fast. One whispered. Another replied. No species has ever thought to use the blink drive like this. Not even the makers. The oldest among them stood slowly. Then Earth must be more than a species. He looked toward the stars. They may be the next empire or the final one. Earth orbit. Defiance enters history. Captain Juno Hart stood on the bridge of the HSS Defiance. Her voice calm, but electric. All Reaper targets confirmed down. Blink fleet returning to high orbit. The crew erupted in cheers, but quietly. They all knew. The war wasn't over. General Vera's voice came through. Prepare for jump to designated coordinates. It's time for the next step. Target. The throne of Varn. The Varn Dominion had existed for 30,000 years. They ruled 10,000 worlds. They crushed rebellion with silence. Their seat of power was a massive space station called the Throne. Hidden behind a plasma cloud in Sectors Island -9 no ship had ever reached it. Until now. Elian Riker, Return of the Builder Elian, stood aboard the newest prototype, HSS Vision. He was no longer hiding. He was leading. Beside him were data holograms, showing ancient alien signals patterns older than the Varn. They revealed a terrifying truth. The blink drive wasn't discovered. It was remembered. He turned to the crew. The Varn didn't create the blink drive. They stole it. And now they want to erase us for doing what they did first. The blink assault, 1-second War 7 Earth ships, each equipped with next-gen blink cores prepared to jump into the heart of Varn space. Captain Hart gave the final order. We don't need numbers. We just need perfect timing. On her mark, 7 ships blinked at once. Inside the throne, the Varn AI. Queen sat in her command chamber when the walls shivered. Suddenly, every alarm lit red. Her network couldn't track what was happening. Ships appeared inside her shield wall. Turrets failed. Drones refused to respond. She screamed, "What is this? You cannot bend space within the throne." But humans already had. The HSS Vision blinked right beside her throne core. Alien, Riker appeared on a holoscreen. He didn't smile. He only said, "Empires built on fear must fall. Blink logic doesn't follow kings. It follows minds." The collapse in a single coordinated strike. Earth ships sent blink pulses directly into the Varn station's core. Not explosives, not missiles. Just disruption. Waves. The throne didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist, blinking into a fold of space so deep no one could ever return. Galaxy reacts. The blink uprising across the stars. Varn slaves rose. Old worlds rebelled. Alien scientists shared their research freely for the first time in centuries. And the legend began to spread. A small world. A forbidden drive. One species that refused to obey. Final hook. Alien's revelation back on Earth. Alien Riker stood before a global broadcast. He showed a star map, but it wasn't a map of known space. It was something else. These coordinates appeared after the final blink. There, not ours, not from any known system. It's a message. Not from the Varn, not from the Council. He looked into the camera. It's from the ones who built the first blink drive, and they've just invited us to meet them. The war was over. The Varn Dominion had fallen. Their fleets were scattered, their throne vanished, and their name whispered only in fear and failure. But for humanity, victory was not the end. It was a beginning, because the blink drive had done something no one expected. It had spoken back. Earth. Global broadcast. Rumelian Riker stood before the world one final time. Behind him was a display showing a set of coordinates so far outside known space. They barely made sense. He touched the screen. These aren't star locations. They're time-fold signatures, places where space bends in on itself. Something or someone is inviting us. Silence filled the room. Alien looked tired, worn down by war, secrets, and the burden of knowledge. We've broken the laws of the galaxy. Now we've been called by something that wrote those laws. Mission name. Project Origin Earth Command approved the mission with hesitation. Only one ship would go. Not a warship, not a scout. A hybrid, part science vessel, part living AI, part blink generator. The ship was called the Threshold. The final jump. Alien boarded the Threshold alone. Though millions watched. The ship lifted from Earth silently, disappearing in a shimmer. It didn't blink to another star. It blinked out of the universe they understood. The place beyond. When the blink ended, there was no space. No stars. No darkness. Just a canvas of motion, where time bent in curves and thought seemed louder than light. Alien stood inside a viewing chamber, but the windows showed dreams. His own memories floated in the glass. His first test, his father's voice, the moment the Reapers fell. Then a voice came, not heard, not spoken, just felt. "We remember you," Alien whispered. "Who are you?" "You are our reflection, flawed, chaotic, curious. We left the blink behind because it was too powerful for order. And you found it again. The conversation that changed everything. The beings who had no bodies, only shape-shifting light, taught alien truths. Blink wasn't just about travel. It was about connecting minds across space and time. Empires used it as a weapon, but its real purpose was unity. We didn't hide blink to control it, the being said. We hid it because it brought us too close. Alien asked, "Too close to what?" They answered, "To becoming one mind, and losing what made us different." The choice. They showed Alien a final gift, a single blink pulse that could unite all conscious minds across the galaxy. No more war, no more secrets. Or erase the blink forever and let species walk their own paths, slow, flawed, but free. Alien's hands trembled. He had built the drive to explore, not to control. He thought of Earth, of the chaos, the pain, the freedom. And then he said, "No, one should think for everyone." He chose freedom. Returned to Earth. One last blink the threshold, returned in silence. Killian stepped out alone, but something had changed. His eyes saw more. Not in power, not in understanding. He looked up at the sky. And whispered, "We are not alone. We were never meant to rule, only to discover." Final scene, Monument of Minds years later, where the first blink test took place. A monument stood, a giant metal ring facing the stars. Underneath it read, "Here, one human broke the laws of the universe, but chose not to break its spirit." Epilogue, far beyond dawn, a quiet world in another galaxy. A young alien child looked up at the sky. A ripple passed overhead. Silent, silver, beautiful. The child pointed. "Mother, what was that?" The alien mother smiled. "That little one was a human." End of Part 7 ***.